Hi guys, hope everyone's doing great. Quick update for Uber here. So Uber is something we have been watching for over 6 months now in the group, and I did mention it on multiple YouTube videos. This was back on 21st of August 2019, so almost 3 months ago. Uber was at 35. I said it was going to go down to around 25, 26 around this lockup period. Lockup periods are typically sell the news events because everyone who was involved in the stock pre-IPO, they can now sell, and as you can see here, massive capitulation. So always nice to see a plan working out. I think it has indeed bottomed here, and we were discussing this in the group a couple of days ago, and our calls are currently up around 300-400%, and it almost certainly has bottomed here. It might chop around for a few days, but ultimately we are looking at this to go higher. Now, given that it has completed a complete correction, my target here, as I mentioned to the group, is going to be 64. I think it goes to 100 eventually. That's purely based on the knowledge that I have on the fundamentals. There's nothing technical which would suggest it gets as high as there. The fib target is going to be 64, but I do think it might even go higher than that. Obviously, these are long-term targets. This may take another 18 months to really play out, but if it has indeed bottomed, it's just a matter of time before people start jumping in and taking this higher. Now, shorter term targets are obviously going to be this pivot level here at 36, and you've always got to watch the 50% fib on the way back up. That's always the most important fib to watch on the way back up, which also comes in at around 34. So 34 to 36 would be your first targets, and of course there are some daily gaps here at 29 and 29.4. So it's always good to see a plan work out. You know, Elliott wave, I think, is the most useful way to analyze stocks on a swing trading long-term basis. I mean, it was all the way at 35 3 months ago, and so it saves you from getting too involved in a stock when you don't really need to. Currently the market cap is around 40 billion, which is a lot lower than it was when it was here. It was more like 60 billion, and I guess when it gets to 64 it will be along the lines of 120 billion, which in today's market and the valuations, that's not really too extreme given what's going on in the stock market, which, as we know, is going to go to 43,000 on the Dow Jones, and next 2 years are going to be bullish. And obviously we have this descending trend line to watch as well. So good to see a plan work out. Like I said, short term, you know, you're going to be aiming for these gaps, the 50% fib, and then after 34, then you're looking at 46, and like I said, ultimate target 64, but I think it may eventually all go all the way to psychologically $100. They're doing great things at Uber. If you have a look at the fundamentals. Now, short term, is anything more to add here? I don't really think so. Obviously, there's a bit of a short squeeze going on. Everyone who wanted to get out of this stock has now had the chance to get out, and it's just going to chop around and then slowly make its way higher. Of course, the stock market could have a mini correction. By a mini correction, I mean a 1 to 3 or 4% correction between now and the end of the year. Doesn't really change things for Uber, I suppose, given how oversold it is. But if we do get a very small correction in the Dow Jones, that may halter the upward progress for a few days, maybe a few weeks. But ultimately, if you're long-term orientated, the next couple of years, I think, like I said, we get to 64 and it's going to be very bullish. So I'll leave it there, short and sweet, and I will do an update on crypto once it gets moving in the next couple of weeks. Catch you guys soon.